messages on screen. The waiting operator until the information becomes available. This station will now
Welcome to the Casual Preppers Podcast. Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers Podcast, the only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment. We are your hosts, Cam and Kobe, and we are ready to bring survival goodness direct to your dirty little ear holes.
We are, and this one is one that will stand out in your minds forever.
Wow, man, I just can't wait for this. That introduction right there.
I know.
I tell you. What are we talking about today, Cameron?
We're going to talk about floods. We're going to talk about hurricanes. We're going to talk about tornadoes. We're going to talk about floods. We're going to talk about...
Yeah, we're talking surviving natural disasters today, and we picked a few of them out. It's a few of our favorites.
Yeah, probably our best all around.
Yeah, the kind of just the all-around good ones.
We've kind of covered fires and wildfire and... what was the other thing?
I don't know.
It was kind of a natural disaster that we talked about. Blackouts? I don't know.
Blackouts.
No, we wanted to talk about all these individually, but a lot of the things come down to the same. So
they do.
We're just like, man.
So we're going to do them all together.
Yeah.
We're going to have to deal with it today. We also have some reviews. We've got a survival boxes. We've got Tac Pack, so that's really good. And speaking of Tac Pack, today's podcast is brought to you by Tac Pack, the only monthly tactical subscription box with useful professional grade stuff inside. Get 10% off your first Tac Pack with our code CasualPreppers at TacPack.com and join the thousands of satisfied subscribers today. That is 10% off with our code CasualPreppers at TacPack.com. Just do it, guys. Seriously.
Just do it.
If you haven't done it yet, what's going on?
Listener reviews starts now.
Hey, you bummed out of brain?
Yeah, just getting pissed today. Let's talk some reviews.
Let's do it.
You wanna? Mm-hmm. You wanna go ahead and do it?
I want to do it.
Okay, I'm
excited. Because I read it and I thought it was pretty funny.
Okay.
Casual Preppers saved my life. 5 stars.
Oh.
Does he even say who this was?
I don't think it does, actually.
Okay, this is... You'll know who you are.
You know who you are.
I was an out-of-shape smoker who couldn't read a compass. I started hiking, and I wanted to stay survived in case something happened out in the wild. I found the Casual Preppers podcast, and now I can rub 2 sticks together to start a fire, and I even implemented a dirty medical tip at work when someone sliced their hand open.
What?
Thank you.
That's cool.
I may not be able to survive the entirety of the SHTF situation, but I can sleep better at night knowing I won't be the first to die. Stay survived. Double hook and salute.
Oh, man, that was nice. That was really nice. If you guys want to be a part of this portion of the podcast, go to iTunes, go to Facebook, go to the Kindle book on Amazon, leave us a 5-star review, and make it awesome.
Social media shout out.
So social media shout out today.
Social.
We're going to talk about the social media shout out today.
Oh.
That was sort of Sean Connery, but not quite, right?
Social.
So today, why don't you...
Let's talk about the social media shout out.
Yeah. I want to talk about one of our brand new sponsors, Survivaguard, Cameron.
I remember them.
Yeah, I remember them too.
I was putting their pills away the other day.
Were you? Fantastic. So they make some really cool stuff for preppers. Long-term storage vitamins. What the F? It's real. You can get it. Go to Survivaguard, and then you can use our code CasualPreppers. But go see them on Instagram. Go say hi to them. Go say, hey, Cam and Kobe told me to come say hi, so I want to come say hi.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Seriously, this is a genius idea because the food, the dried MREs you're going to be eating for, who knows, maybe years.
Your body's...
You're going to die.
You're going to die.
You need all those special vitamins.
No doubt. No doubt.
It's time for who? It's a mad medical tip.
That was what's going on. Which one is it? Mad medical tip.
Freaking awesome. That might be a first
it's a
there.
Pissed off medical tip.
I got big old fat fingers.
Shoot yourself with barbed wire.
I got big old fat fingers today. I was hitting like every button at once. Well,
people are blown away by that.
We're going with a mad world. That's what we're going to start with, okay? Right. I want to start with something that I saw on the news, and I thought it was scary yet interesting. And so here it is.
Sure.
This says, the headline was, mystery object that sped past Earth last year could be probe sent by aliens, Harvard researchers say. Do you get that? So they thought, okay, here, let me read this. A mysterious cigar-shaped object spotted tumbling through our solar system last year may have been an alien spacecraft sent to investigate Earth. astronomers from Harvard University have suggested.
That sounds like an efficient flying.
Yeah. We're going to make it look like a cigar.
Let's make it still. Let's cut the tip off,
Ooh.
and then we're gonna fly right through space.
Good idea. Good
the
idea.
boosters just.
Yeah. The object named Oumuamua, meaning a messenger that reaches out from a distant.
Who named that?
It's Hawaiian. I don't know. It's a Huma cigar in the sky.
Right,
a messenger that reaches out from a distant past is what it means in Hawaiian, right? Since its discovery, scientists have been at odds to explain its unusual features and precise origins, with researchers first calling it a comet and then an asteroid, before finally deeming it the first of its kind, a new class of interstellar object. That's kind of cool. What do you think?
I think it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, so they said that it could be a probe sent by aliens because it has excess acceleration or its unexpected boost in speed as it traveled through and ultimately out of our solar system. So it had some weird speed issues going on. And so they're like, that's not normal. And so they thought it might be actually sent from aliens. So that might be like our first contact, and they are headed this way to do whatever they want to do. Probe away. Yeah. So you might want to go back and listen to the Halloween special from last year, How to Survive Aliens.
Definitely.
Because it's on its way.
Get your fine locks and your trinkets that they can't.
Yeah. So that was scary.
I just picture a guy just pissing in the ocean. With a
cigar in the sky.
Oh, I gotta get inside. It's cold.
Just pissed on my feet.
Just pissed. Pissed on a crab.
Pissed on a crab. Yeah.
All right. So, Stephen Hawking, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
So this is something we got to think about. He feared that a rich superhuman species is set to end humanity.
What?
This was one of his last predictions before he died. I don't know if it's dementia or his disease, but it sure sounds accurate.
All right, I want to hear about it.
So the world-famous physicist and author who died in March of, I think it was this year, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Anyway, he described an apocalyptic scenario should genetic engineering favor people who could afford to make themselves smarter, more disease-resistant, and likely to live longer.
Ooh.
Once such superhumans appear, once such superhumans appear, there will be significant political problems with unimproved humans who won't be able to compete.
Look at
Presumably, they will die out or become unimportant.
Those people keep getting diseases, venereal diseases, and all sorts of stuff.
Dude, those are gross.
They can't live here with me.
He said that he expected laws to be put in place to prevent genetic engineering in humans, but ultimately some would not be able to resist the temptation to improve their human capabilities. Ooh. So just his final work that he was working on, was just about the stars running out of energy, but also...
The stars running out of energy?
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, darkness... So he's got that, and then superhumans are going to create this super entitled species.
I could see that.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That already exists.
It does?
Super entitled species.
Oh.
It's called millennials. But anyway.
We love you guys.
But yeah, so watch out. I guess there's a superhuman species.
Be on the lookout.
They're going to be killing all of us normals.
Maybe that's what we need to do for a podcast. How to survive superhuman species.
That'd be pretty good. How to outrun superhuman species.
Anyways, guys, today we're talking about surviving. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, surviving
natural podcast.
Natural. What day is it? Natural disasters. The first one we're gonna start with is it's a classic, and it's earthquakes. So I thought we'd just start with what is an earthquake? All right.
Shaky rocks.
Yeah. So
this one scares me the most.
It's super scary.
We're in a terrible spot for it.
The The Earth has 7 large tectonic...
Which Earth's got the worst earthquakes?
The Earth has 7 large tectonic plates that grind and rub against each other like teenagers at a house party. This came straight from the book, so it is what it is. Until pressure is finally released, just like when you were a teenager. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute.
It's familiar.
Planet Earth is just like us.
Oh, man. Anyway,
you know what's creepy?
What is?
Just a side thing. That big earthquake in Mexico just recently, it wasn't even a tectonic plate fault.
What was it?
It just cracked.
What?
Which is super bizarre and weird.
Jeez, what's
So
going on
screw
down
the
there?
plates. It can just happen anytime.
Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, this release of pressure shakes the ground we walk on and live on, fracturing and rolling it. So it does like some rolls and everything gets shaky and it's bad, right? Stuff goes haywire and we don't like it. So let's talk about some of the biggest ones we've seen. I think one of the most famous is the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. It was an 8 on the Richter scale, which is pretty big. It killed about 500 people, which is it's a lot of people, but it's not like crazy. But the bulk of the deaths came afterwards because there were so many fires they couldn't stop them. So that's what you got to think about. Sometimes it's not the initial.
Yeah, it seems like all the aftermath of an earthquake,
exactly,
tsunamis and stuff.
Yeah. So that's something you have to think about. Sometimes it's not the initial thing. There's always something.
I'm
after.
not really worried about the earthquake. It's the after earthquake.
Exactly. I got to pick all this shit up.
You
on
guys
the
are
floor.
talking about earthquake all the time. It's where after that happens.
Tokyo had an 8.25 in 1960, and it killed 140,000 people.
Wow.
Not even Godzilla caused that much death in man. Chile had a 9.0 in 1960.
Yeah, that one I heard was pretty crazy.
Alaska had an 8.5 in 64, and Indonesia had a 9.0 in 2004. Wow. That's big.
9.0.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, so right now there's a lot of current threats. We all know about the San Andreas Fault, right? And that's the one that's through California, and that's why California sucks to live in. And if you live there, I'm sorry, but you're going to have an earthquake at some point. Yeah,
it's just a nightmare.
But U.S. Geological Survey says
we should just have a podcast, Surviving California.
We should.
And Californians.
That's actually a really good idea. I actually kind of like that. The U.S. Geological Survey says 143 million Americans live where damaging earthquakes can occur. So that's like, what, half the United States, basically? Yeah. Almost half. So San Andreas, that's a big one. The Cascadia Subduction Zone. Ooh, that sounds sexy.
Abduction?
Subduction. 680-mile long stretch of colliding land masses 50 miles offshore from Oregon. So it basically is capable of generating magnitude 9 earthquakes, 30 times more powerful than the worst the San Andreas can dish out. So it's actually worse.
That's
right?
crazy.
Yeah.
Because it has a colliding plate? Is that what it said?
Yeah, something like that. The last monster quake that ruptured
Sounds great.
The entire length of the Cascadia Fault occurred in 1700. It was around a magnitude 9. It created a tsunami that crossed the entire Pacific Ocean and caused damage along parts of the Japanese coast.
Oh my gosh.
So that's a big deal.
I know that when I was living in Oregon, a lot of people talked about how Oregon's coast has been so quiet and calm for so long that
really?
Everybody's like, it's building.
Yeah.
Subduction.
Yeah. Subduction. Yeah, so that one's a bad one. The New Madrid fault line, that's in the, it stretches southwest from New Madrid, Missouri. That's a really...
There's a New Madrid, Missouri?
Yeah, there is. And that's what the New Madrid fault line or whatever is on. So that's a big one that could really do some damage. Utah. This is scary for us. Though the Wasatch Fault has not delivered a major earthquake since the Mormons. They're going quanking out there. Everybody quanking.
This fault causes quanks. It's way more intense.
We're getting crunking. We're getting quanking. You know what I mean? Not pointing out on a quanking scale. Crunk scale.
And yet it's 1847.
Yeah.
Hey, we got on quank.
Got a little quank going on out there. It hasn't delivered one since the Mormon settlers arrived in 1847. It is capable of unleashing jolts as big as 7.5. And so that's a bad deal. And also because there used to be a really big lake, Lake Bonneville, throughout this area. It's almost like a lake bed underneath. So it's like rolling is very easy for this land. So a bad deal.
Ooh.
Yeah. Alaska also has a really big... This is the second largest earthquake ever recorded struck Alaska's Prince William Sound in 1964. It was a 9.2.
Yeah, I'd heard about this one to where the tsunami, and I don't know if this person was telling the honest truth, but he had a journal entry of where he was on a boat and it pushed his wave up and he completely passed over like an island. Whoa. Like a little thing.
In some places the ground was uplifted almost 38 feet.
Good freak.
That's a long way.
You remember the last time I saw that was on Land Before Time. Remember? Got separated from his parents. Yep. Oh, man.
You gonna watch that, you're going to cry.
That was
gonna happen.
approximately 38 feet elevation.
So anyways, Alaska's a bad place for it too. Luckily, nobody
Man,
lives
Alaska's crazy how much all that.
there. Yeah. So how you gonna prep for this?
People live there.
How you gonna prep for this? This is the big thing. And I found it. I went to theprepared.com. It was a fantastic website. I'd never seen it
I
before.
don't think I've seen it.
But they have some really good stuff on
Cool.
preparing for earthquakes.
What's up, The Prepared?
Much of this comes from here. The first thing is, obviously, during an earthquake, the biggest way people get injured is stuff falling on their heads and falling on them. So reduce dangerous things that can fall during an earthquake. That's the number one thing you can do for getting prepared for that. So go around your house, make sure you don't have like your Oscars up on the top shelf that are going to fall over on you.
That's platinum CD up there.
Your Emmys or your Webbies or whatever they are. Just make sure they're not going to fall off, right?
Trilogy series of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
That stuff will
Collector's edition.
That'll hit you.
Yeah.
Can.
Watch what you hang over beds. And I've actually I've had this issue before.
Mirrors
Remember
and
last
stuff?
year? Was that last year or this year? Where that thing fell off and hit my daughter in the head? Remember?
Middle of the night.
In the middle of the freaking night. And
That
I had
was
to,
crazy.
I had to glue it shut. So watch
Poltergeist.
that. Yeah. Bolt shelves to the wall if you can, because that way they don't come crashing down.
None of the stuff in my house is on the wall very well.
I know.
I'm just like, honey, I don't have time for this.
And I just
put like
a little bit of
the
tape on it.
screws are like loose. They just pull
Yeah.
right out.
I got a little masking tape on there.
I don't have time to look for a stud. I'm right here.
I'm right here, honey. Latches on cabinets so they don't just fly open and your china comes falling out. Either secure items on shelves or take them off. That's your choices.
What? Secure what or take them off?
Items on your shelves. If there's something on a shelf, you secure it, or you don't
So
put it
just
up
have
there.
nothing up there now, huh?
No, you can secure it. You're
I
not
can't
listening to
secure
me.
anything
Why?
because you don't have time.
Double stick tape.
How do you? That's true.
Not moving anywhere.
We got so much crap on some of those shelves. I couldn't
Oh, I
secure
know.
any of it. What do
I
you
know.
get? Bird net? Staple it bottom top?
Yeah.
I ain't coming
Chicken
off.
wire. Chicken wire.
Chicken wire. All your stuff.
Everybody looks to
I'm
grab.
just- This is as safe as I can make it.
Looks weird, but we're gonna live.
You ain't gonna get your head cut open in the middle of the night, that's for sure.
It's a new farmhouse look. All right.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I'm gonna
These
write-
ideas, we gotta write it down.
You're a friggin' genius. The next thing you can do, especially for insurance purposes, every year try and take photos and videos of everything you own. What are you doing?
What was that flash?
It was the light. Man.
Oh, I thought my phone flashed. I was like, taking pictures of me.
Oh, the government's taking my picture.
They don't want to. They're gonna bring this podcast down.
Yeah. So,
Sorry.
take photos and videos of your possessions every year, so that way, when they all go down in flames in the earthquake, you can say, "Hey, I had this stuff." I
Yeah, it's like
promise.
applies to all of them.
Yeah, get that earthquake insurance. All right.
Start taking pictures everywhere right now.
Yeah. Retrofit your home to survive the earthquake. So unreinforced masonry buildings, which are brick, stone, or adobe structures, can crumble to a pile in an earthquake. For these brick homes, retrofits often mean tying the walls to the floor and roof, adding a steel frame, and bolting the wall to it.
That's it.
That shouldn't take
Sounds-
you about a half hour.
That's a weekend Home Depot run.
Exactly. I prefer Lowe's. Wood homes tend to fare better than concrete because they can actually naturally flex. So if you got a wood house, you're doing pretty dang good. Even the pre-1970s stick-built homes typically aren't secured.
I had that in mind.
Yeah. Well, I built my house.
Wait a minute. Is this wood in there in these frames? Okay.
Yeah. So the things you can do to retrofit, like I said, bolting the house to its foundation, reinforcing, bracing crippled walls with plywood, bracing the hot water heater with metal strapping. That's a big one
need to do
because
that.
Yeah, you want to make sure that's done. Brace your chimney. All right.
I don't have a chimney.
Okay, good. Installing auto shut-off valves on the gas meter.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, they're really not that expensive to have somebody come install those.
Yeah, I should
Not a
put
bad
those on
idea.
there. That's a really good idea. Auto shut off.
Yeah.
Hey Google, shut off my power.
Yeah, can I do
Hey
it?
Google, shut off the gas.
Good, shut up my gas. Don't shut off my power, damn it. Understand where and how to shut off your gas. Know how to do it.
Yeah.
It's fairly simple. Dum-dums can do it, so just learn how to do it. Yeah. And have they make those, quick and easy tools to go ahead and do that. So get one.
Just chain it to it. I
Yeah.
had one hanging by mine, I think.
Did you?
I think.
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't shut it off in years.
I keep using it. Don't want to shut it off. Basic supplies. Again, this comes back to prepping basics. Almost every topic we talk about, food, water, medical supplies, sanitation supplies, all of those things have to be in place for all of these things to survive them all.
Yep.
All right?
That's it. Thanks for this is a podcast.
Yeah. Create a family emergency communications plan.
Good idea.
It is. We've talked about this several times. I'm actually tonight. I got family night going on, so I'm looking forward to that. But we're going to talk about our emergency plans again. We're going to make sure that all the kids have one in their backpacks and all that stuff. So stuff goes on, they can refer to that plan and know what they're doing instead of running around screaming.
Yeah.
Because that's probably what would happen.
Yeah, that would.
FEMA says fires are the biggest threats after an earthquake. That's what FEMA says. 1906 San Francisco earthquake says the same thing.
I believe it.
Fire blankets, extinguishers, all of those things are fantastic to have. Dual purpose, earthquakes and fires, all that stuff's good. So how are you going to survive? Even though they do actually have sensors and alert systems now, the longest or the most warning you can get is about 30 seconds for an earthquake.
Before?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
They actually can detect.
Where's that going on? By the time you figure,
I know.
Where's that chirping? Is battery dead?
Oh, it's an earthquake.
Oh, that's why I forgot about that.
Earthquake sensor's going off. Good gracious.
Did you change the?
I gotta go get a 9-volt for that thing. Number 1, do not panic. Panicking
Easy. Super easy.
Especially when the earth is shaking and crap's
By the way,
falling.
first things first, don't panic,
Don't
everybody.
panic. Yeah.
Earth's coming down on you.
So, like I said, things falling is the largest killer during an earthquake. Drop and cover. Don't let stuff fall on your head. Your head is a very sensitive organ, and you don't want to get stuff like stuck through it or into it and all that kind of stuff.
So the basic stuff we learned when we were in elementary school, crawl under desks and everything. Doorways, is that still a thing?
It's actually not.
That's what I wondered.
So we'll talk about that later. Drop down to the ground, get on your hands and knees, bark like a dog. A strong earthquake will knock you over anyway, so just freaking get down.
Yeah.
Get down, all right? Gosh, dang.
Get down.
Cover your head, crawl underneath a sturdy desk or table. If no shelter is nearby, crawl next to an interior wall and avoid windows. Windows break, they're sharp, that's bad.
That is bad.
Hold on until the quake calms. Don't go nowhere, don't do anything.
I'm tired of that.
Yeah. Avoid elevators and windows if you're in a high rise. So earthquake starts, don't go jump in the elevator. Bad idea.
I want to get out of this building.
Go down, go down.
Go. Close.
Avoid doorways, Cam. This is the question you asked. They don't protect you from falling or flying objects. Modern doorways aren't any more robust than the rest of the house.
Interesting. Okay.
They used
Good.
to be
I
much
didn't know
more.
that.
They used to be much more robust in olden days.
But now the cookie cutter homes,
Exactly.
they don't use much wood.
Say you're outside and an earthquake happens. What do, Cameron?
Just sit down on the ground.
Get away from buildings, power lines, signs, traffic lights, and sinkholes. Don't go by a sinkhole, apparently. Like, I don't know why they had to say that. Don't go near a sinkhole in an earthquake. Well, duh.
Yeah.
Don't ever go near a sinkhole.
Wonder how often the ground actually opens up.
I don't know.
You know? Like on The Last Crusade, Indiana Jones?
I do know.
And he's like trying to grab that Holy Grail.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was always worried
Just
about.
let it go, Indy.
Yeah. Indiana.
Once in an open area, get your body down low and stay there until the shaking stops. If you're driving, pull
Sounds
over.
like a club. Directions at a club.
Yeah, I know. Get down low.
Get down low. Stop until shaking stop.
Don't move to the shake and stop. Don't move to the shake and stop. I think
like
that's
that.
a new hit, damn it. Called Earthquake. Don't move to the shake and stop.
Crank it up. Whoever's listening right now, crank it
Get
up.
that crunk shit up. Don't move to the shake and stop.
Clank it up. Clank it up.
Pull over and stop. Don't park under trees, overpasses, or bridges. Pull your parking brake.
We need to make a CD.
I know. Pull your parking brake and wait for the shaking to stop. All right.
Yeah, it's getting better.
This is getting good. Proceed
Where's
carefully.
your chorus?
Proceed carefully. Avoid cracked pavement and debris. Stay inside if power lines falls on your car. You know that if you get out,
Get shocked.
it could be a bad deal. Wait for the utility person to come and don't drive over down power lines, idiot. All right. So say this happens if you're in bed, you're sleeping, you're dreaming about the things you dream about, and all of a sudden it's shaking. What do you want to do, Cameron?
pull the blankets over your head.
That's not
Protect your head.
That's not a bad idea. Don't get up. It's not time to get up. All right.
Oh yeah, you got that in there, huh?
Lay face down. Face down. Cover your head and neck with a pillow.
Oh yeah.
Or your wife. Whatever's available.
Honey, get over.
I'm just gonna like burrow underneath my wife. I'm safe. I'm
Put a
good.
pillow on your head.
Hold on to your head and neck with both hands until the shaking stops. Not like that. Like a dumbass.
I got a stabilized the neck.
You guys are watching. You're going to be laughing your face off. So as soon as the shaking is stopped, always take care of yourself first, then your family. All right? Cameron,
Yeah.
you got cuts and
Who
bruises.
got selfish?
You
This just turned selfish real fast.
Don't create another hurt body that someone else needs to take care of.
Gotcha.
All right? This is for everybody's good.
I believe it.
Yeah, so grab your bug out bag at that point. No matter what's happening, go get it, throw it on your back. That way, if stuff goes south and you have to bolt, it's there, you have it. You wear it for the next 10, 15 minutes, you're going to be okay, right? Get outside, away from things that can fall if there's an aftershock. Don't use elevators. If you're driving, park your car in a safe place, right?
I think this is why it's a good idea to consider having, your supplies and maybe an additional bug out bag or, a good vehicle bag, because it's like you might not be able to get to your bug out. Mine are stored somewhere. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
But, just collapses on it, and then crap, I had all that stuff ready.
Exactly. So have some good stuff in your
Your
vehicle.
get home bag is also.
So if there are small fires afterwards, grab your fire extinguisher and start putting
Spraying
out the
it
fire.
in the air.
Exactly.
Got to protect everything.
Yeah. Take a picture. If it's safe to do so, turn off the gas and electrical breakers. Use your car radio or emergency radio to get informed. That's a big thing. Make sure you understand what's happening and get information from the people that know what's happening. Let others know that you're okay. Use Facebook if you have to. They have those like, I'm okay.
I'm in the middle of an earthquake right now.
I didn't die. You can actually check in as safe from whatever disaster is happening. So go ahead and do that with the safety check feature on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
You know how to do it. A lot of times you're going to have a clogged cellular network during something like this because everybody's trying to call grandma. Everybody's trying to call auntie.
Emergency services.
Yeah, emergency service. So use a text message. They use a lot less bandwidth, and you should be able to get a text through. So try that if you can't get the voice call through. You can even update your outgoing voicemail that says, I'm all right. Earthquake didn't kill me. I'm still good. Right? So if they call you and you don't answer, they know you're okay. They're going to go on to the next person. Don't try and hang up your freaking wall-mounted TV right afterwards if it fell off the wall. All right? It's not time to do that. Let stuff settle because it's not – there could be aftershocks. Yeah. There could be things going on. So just chill. All right? If you're in a damaged building, go outside. Move quickly away from the building. Do not enter damaged buildings. It's not a good idea. If you're trapped in
It's not the time to riot.
Exactly.
And loot.
If you're trapped, cover your mouth, send a text, bang on a pipe, whistle, whatever you can do so that people can get to you.
Yeah.
All right.
The Goonies did this.
Yeah.
They pounded on pipes.
They did. Everybody at the country club was like taking a whiz. Oh, yeah. He's in the bathroom. Yeah. So if you're in an area that may experience tsunamis, go inland or go to higher ground. It's a very good idea. And then once you're safe, you can monitor local, information and stuff like that. Again, bugging in should always be your default. So there's really not a big reason to bug out during an earthquake unless stuff is like really nasty. You know what I mean? So roads, bridges, and transportation is going to be a mess. So don't drive unless you absolutely have to.
Right.
So here's this thing I found after a big earthquake. The Oregon Resilience Plan, which reads like a Hollywood disaster movie script, provides these infrastructure restoration estimates under current conditions. So if there's a huge earthquake, basically like a 9.0 or bigger, or a 10.0, this is how long it's going to take for these services to get back up. So this is for in Oregon, but it's kind of cool to see. Electricity is going to be 1 to 3 months. That's if you're inland in the valley. If you're on the coast, it's going to be 3 to 6 months. That's insane.
Dang.
Water and sewer, 1 month to 1 year.
Wow.
That is freaking crazy. Schools are going to be 18 months. Police and fire, 2 to 4 months. Healthcare facilities, 18 months. Major highways, a year. telecommunications a year. Liquid fuel is extremely vulnerable. They don't even know. So that is freaking nuts.
That's a long time.
So that's if one of those big ones that everybody fears, like the big, huge New Madrid or the big, huge San Andreas, if those hit, that is a possible scenario. That's really bad to even think about.
So if you had a goal set for 6 month food supply and water for your family, that covers almost, 75% of those?
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? You would be, unless you're on the coast, you're screwed.
Yep, exactly. So after the 2010 magnitude 8.8 Maul earthquake in Chile, the country restored 90% of communications and 95% power supply within 2 weeks. And flights resumed after 10 days. So that was pretty good. After 2011 9.0 Tohoku earthquake, Japan restored 90% of power supply in 10 days.
Wow.
And 90% of telephone lines in 2 weeks. And 90%
PlayStation network was back up in
2 years. It still isn't up.
No kidding.
Still isn't up. So anyways, that's earthquakes. I mean, there's a lot more to it, but we're going to get to a bunch of other ones right now. And so those are all really good earthquake tips.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of these tips apply to pretty much all of these, a lot of the kind of preparedness and don't do this things. Just saying that. You'll see.
Keep going.
But anyway,
right back.
So floods. They come in various forms. Plug toilets, hairball in the shower, tsunami, hurricane, monsoon, tornado, excess snow, melt, runoff, and living on Earth. Floods can happen at any moment.
Oh.
So floods kind of freak me out because they just rape everything. You know what I mean? Flood goes up your pipes. Flood. But it just destroys everything. Water is essential, but it ruins everything.
It sure does.
And flood water is just nasty poop and
it's bad.
Like gas, oil, everything.
Dead things.
Yeah.
Biohazards.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
So that makes, like, a lot of people are like, oh, listen, I got a bunch of filters. I can filter it out. But a lot of the standard filters for water do not filter out chemicals. They're not made to do that.
Most of them don't.
So you're kind of SOL if you're planning on just living off your filters because it'll just pollute everything. Rivers nearby, lakes. So flood is no good. Some of the major things that are devastating, you get trapped, you can drown. That's not good. Nobody likes that.
Everything gets wet.
Your panties get all wet. Transportation is nearly impossible, unless you have a canoe.
Yeah.
But all it takes is 6 inches for most vehicles to start sucking it up in their engine, throwing it up. Blech, blech. But cars, most vehicles now 6 inches is enough to get up into the engine well and stuff. So 1 foot is all it takes for the majority of vehicles to start floating. 1 foot.
1 foot?
Not very much.
Wow.
So yeah, big complications: power loss, transportation issues, drinking water issues, and then erosions. You can get mudslides, and then more poop goes in the water.
Yeah,
and then it costs tons of money to fix all these problems. So, you guys, we've talked about printing out those PDFs for wildfires and floods. They are extremely good. And all you'd have to do is print them out, put them in a book, cover them with plastic. Boom. Got it.
You're ready to go.
Put it in another fireproof safe, but put it on a device you don't use anymore. And these are super detailed, and it helps you from beginning. If you screwed up and didn't have anything prepared beforehand, it's what do you do now? What do you do afterwards? It's all written out for you. People don't lose their minds. They can just look at their PDF.
Exactly.
So before flooding, things that you need to think of is how to make your supplies, your home, as watertight as possible. Obviously, you can't stop all water, but
it's hard.
Imagine having all of your food supplies that you have. I've got this massive 12-year supply. I'm excited about it. And the freaking basement floods to the mid-floor,
Yeah.
You've lost it all if it's not sealed properly and it floats away. That would suck big time. So you got to think of ways to just kind of keep your stuff tacked down so it's not going to float away.
Yeah.
And then most of them, your number 10 cans are safe. A lot of those bagged foods from Wise Foods and all those will be fine. But that stuff floats like crazy. So if it's not sealed in there, who knows where it's going to end up.
Yeah.
So
that's why it's nice to get you can get the bagged ones like in the 5-gallon buckets that are sealed.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
So I've got 3 of those, and then I just bought one actually, just barely. But the Patriot Pantry, they come in totes, which is super nice.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of, I have those up on a piece of wood, and then I have that anchored in. So they ain't going nowheres. So
Where's that at?
As long as the water comes down, up in the mountain somewhere.
Okay.
Where Butch Cassidy hid a bunch of gold.
Hole in the wall.
Yeah. So, and then other major things like Kobe talked about before, no evacuation routes, and have plans A, B, and C. Keep your vehicles ready. Gas above half tank and the engine light on. You need to figure out why. Don't deal with those problems when a catastrophe strikes. Practice those emergencies with your family so that they know who to call if you're out of commission or dead or drowned.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's not that big of a deal to go to redcross.org, get their family emergency plan, and fill it out with your family one night. It's actually kind of fun.
No, my kids love that stuff.
Yeah.
Like when they're like going through, like we've talked about bug out bags and had them like put stuff in it, they get all like excited about it.
Oh, yeah, man.
And I'm like, it's the most exciting thing in the world.
Yeah, and it's good for you. It's good for your significant other to look at too. And every like 3 months, just kind of go over it again.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
I need to do it a lot more often for all kinds of different things.
Yeah, exactly.
My kids forget everything.
Oh, yeah.
You can actually go to waterdata.usgs.gov, and they'll give you like a water alert system. So if you're in a flood area, you'll get texts and stuff ahead of time, and
that's cool.
It keeps you up to date on everything. Make sure you have ways to communicate. NOAA weather radios. They have all hazard receivers. You can get them anywhere, but these are going to be essential for especially like flooding and earthquakes. Like what's going on? Like are they, what areas are damaged? Where can I go? So you definitely need to focus on your communications and keeping those operational. Batteries, crank. You can get the one that we have that's all 3, which is super nice.
Battery, crank, and solar.
Because the flood probably isn't going to flood out the sun, but it might be smoke and all that.
Never know.
But yeah. So yeah, those are the things to kind of prepare before. So the number one goal, like once flooding starts, if you, you get the alerts ahead of time, is to evacuate. Don't be a hero. Even if you swim good, you were on the swim team at high school. This kind of crap is not.
It's not worth it.
Like,
Listen, well, first
the water's putrid mess, and it's like debris of like barbed wire, wood. Dead people, dead animals.
If the authorities are saying it's time to evacuate, just listen.
Yeah, just get out.
There's no reason. Grab the stuff that you need and go.
Right.
And have stuff ready, like we said, so you can get out of there before everyone else does.
Exactly.
Because everybody else is going to take a couple hours to get all their crap thrown in their car.
Exactly.
But if you have a bug out bag, you have all that stuff ready, your basement's ready to go, then just freaking get out of there before everybody else does,
Yeah, because honestly, people wait forever or try to pack their cars full. Like, if you get out soon, you'll probably get the furthest away. Yeah. The faster you do it.
Well, then, when stuff like this happens, like especially, like we'll talk about this later, but hurricanes, when everybody has to evacuate, like all the inland hotels like fill up so fast because everybody's trying to get out of there. But if you're one of the first to get out, you're going to get a hotel room. You're going to be able to do all the things you need to do. So
that's
just
true.
Be ready to be one of the first people out when evacuation is necessary.
Yeah, it's smart. It's smart.
Smart things.
Other things is make sure the drainage system. How's the drainage?
Drainage on this property
is like make sure that is all functional. I don't know. You don't know what way the flood's coming, but like if your gutters are cleared out, your drains, like most of those basement window wells, they do have a drainage system.
Mine doesn't
are
work.
all plugged up.
So you usually have a French drain system underneath them, and mine's just like it's all plugged up. I got to figure out.
I actually got flooding in my basement 2 years ago because of that, and I found out the hard way.
Yep.
I dug it all the way out and everything, but most of the time the construction crew, I think, is the one that screw it. They just dump a bunch of dirt down in it.
Yeah, I dug mine out last year too, even more, and it's not draining right.
Full of sand.
So
and
if anybody
sludge.
has any tips for those, shoot them on over because I always have issues.
But do your best.
Yeah.
So I dug my window well down a lot further, like probably 2 more feet, and then just put pea gravel, like kind of like.
You went down that far?
I went way far. Because that was the same window well. All the water comes from my neighborhood down into that one. It was the same thing when I lived across from you. Anyways,
Anyways.
Just make sure that your property is draining well, or you can at least deal with some heavy amounts of water.
Yeah.
Move furniture, electronics off the floor, up higher if you can. Roll up your valuable, Persian rugs.
Mm-hmm.
Store them in high floors.
I got to put those on the top floor.
Right.
Keep forgetting. Got them in my basement.
Yes. Sub pumps, if they're there's some auto, the ones that just will kick off and they operate without you having to manually do it. Like, make sure all that's functioning properly. Appliances and stoves and washers, they recommend putting them on masonry blocks 12 inches above the floor elevation. This is kind of...
You can't do that in most kitchens.
You can't, because they're you're either going to hit your cupboards or...
You're going to look stupid for one thing.
If you can set them up that high. So if you got your vehicle out on blocks in the front yard, just take it out from underneath
Exactly.
those. The most important thing is probably getting your documents in a safe box, or some, flood insurance documents, birth certificates, all that good stuff.
And also having
winnings.
Digital copies of them.
Yeah, that too. So keeping those things safe and being ready to get out of there. So you've heard the 5 Ps: people, prescriptions, paper, personal, priceless items. Those are the 5 Ps that you really need to focus on if you're in a pinch and haven't prepared beforehand.
Pinch, prepare.
Yeah.
Penis.
Other things to consider is like fishing gear, wading gear, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that'll come in quite handy if you're having to walk through that garbage.
So just tell your wife, this is for floods.
I need some real nice fishing gear.
Yeah. Need them
Give me
waders.
some wading gear right now.
Need them waders.
A dry suit would be awesome too.
Or how about a wetsuit?
Well, it's going to absorb the poop.
Oh, okay.
It'll work, but it's not good.
I see. I get you.
Rope, harness, possibly snorkeling gear if you have that stuff.
Yeah.
That would be nice. You're not going to be swimming in it.
Scuba gear.
But if you get trapped or something. Yeah.
Submarine.
Yeah, if you have a submarine,
That's a good idea.
have it loosely set out in your yard so that it'll
Nuclear preferred.
Yep, and then you can just take off.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Sean Connery's operating it. Maybe he's defecting.
Yeah.
What shows that?
Of course, it's on for Red October. Come on,
You
man.
look like you know what I'm talking
No.
about.
I was going to do a Sean Connery voice, and
I know
I decided
sometimes you're like,
against
I
it.
don't know.
I'm going to get
So anyways, when it comes to actual flooding, move items up, cry because you weren't prepared at all.
Yeah.
Don't attempt to cross floodwater. Like, if you think, I know how deep this road is, that could be washed out. It could be a sinkhole. So don't try to go across it. You might die.
Mm-hmm.
If you're trapped in a building, try to get to the tallest, highest point, because water not going to get up there. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Unless the building tips over and washes away. If you're in a vehicle, stay inside. If it starts coming inside, get up on the roof. Many cars, like I said, will start floating at 1 foot. So don't think that you got a snorkel up front and you can drive wherever you want. And if you're outdoors, go to the highest spot, climb a tree. Don't climb a telephone pole.
It's a bad idea. They got the pegs on them already.
And then once it's all
I'm ready to go.
Come on, got your belt. Woohoo! I'm just going to anchor myself up here by the transformer.
Been waiting for this flood.
I think these transformers float, but I can't remember. Anyways, and then once the water recedes, like, you got to be very careful going into those buildings.
Yeah.
Foundation could have been washed out from underneath it. There's all kinds of debris and crap that you can get hurt. But start taking pictures around your house, outside your house, and then get it as dry as possible because mold kills.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, that's a quick rundown of flooding.
Yeah, that's some good stuff, Cameron. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you bet.
So moving on from flooding, I want to talk about one of our fantastic sponsors, Surviviguard. Surviviguard is the ultimate vitamin formula for emergency preparedness, survival, and life. You will have confidence in the knowledge that you are getting 100% of all 13 essential vitamins and 8 essential minerals, 11 super antioxidants, healthy omega-3 fish oils, and a unique proprietary NutriPrep blend for physical and mental emergency preparedness. We are confident that you will experience a better overall sense of well-being, more energy with enhanced alertness, and increased ability to concentrate with greater endurance, and you will be best prepared physically and emotionally for whatever situations you face, no matter how extreme. If you got a flood coming, you're going to want something.
Boom, pop a pill.
If you got...
You swim 25 times
Number one
faster.
thing, you feel the earth shaking, pop that survival guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to be good to go. Use our coupon code, Casual Preppers. Dudes, you're going to get 20% off your order.
That's huge.
Don't be idiots. Just go buy some. Seriously.
I guarantee you do not have vitamins that'll store longer than this year.
You get them in the number 10 can, and they last for like 15 years.
Wow, it's genius.
You think you got a better idea? No, you don't. Go to survivalguard.com, use our
Dummies.
code Casual Preppers, and you're going to be healthy prepper, boy. Healthy prepper.
You're going to be healthy.
You're going to be so healthy. The healthiest little prepper
Right
boy.
on, yeah. Go get them.
Yeah. Let's talk about hurricanes.
Let's do.
Because they are a
Because they
big
happen
deal.
like all the time.
Every single freaking
And
year.
I think there's one happening right now. I don't even know.
Number one, you want to survive a hurricane? Don't live in a hurricane zone. Seriously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay? They happen every single year. And people are like, what the fudge? No, it's going to
Why's
happen
my
every
beach home getting washed away every year?
So, guys, consider, if you're a prepper and you're worried about this, don't live in Florida, for one thing, right?
North Dakota's nice this time of year.
It is never nice, actually. My dad lives there right now, and it's like the worst place on earth. Don't move to North Dakota. And I'm sorry if you live in North Dakota, but I've not heard one good thing about it other than it's nice to leave. That's all I've heard. So, what is a hurricane? According to the NOAA, a hurricane is a type of storm called a tropical cyclone, which forms over tropical or subtropical waters. When one of these tropical storms' wind speeds reaches a sustained 74 miles per hour, it becomes
I'm just
classified.
going to call them that now.
What?
There's a hurricane. Do you mean a tropical cyclone?
A tropical cyclone.
Be correct about it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the history. There's been some crazy ones, some big ones, and they happen all the time. We remember Katrina, don't we?
Yeah.
Cameron?
Yeah.
2005, the third largest hurricane ever to make landfall in the United States.
I feel like they're probably the most devastating
seem
thing
to be.
of the United States.
Well, because
probably caused the most damage.
you get winds, you get floods, you get all these things all wrapped up in one, and it's bad. Raining and
unprepared.
what?
And unprepared people.
Yeah, exactly. So Katrina, the Category 5 hurricane, broke the levees and caused massive amounts of damage. Between Louisiana and Mississippi, almost 2,000 people lost their life. That's bad.
That's a lot.
$81 billion in property damage. $81 billion. That's a lot of money. New Orleans was hit particularly hard.
That's like one Facebook company.
Yeah, no. New Orleans was hit really hard, and it's mostly because they built the damn city under sea level.
Yeah, they did.
It's like -5 feet above sea level there.
Yeah.
And they're like, why is it flooding? Nobody told us it was going to flood.
Why is it coming into this bowl?
I don't get it. So, yeah, that was a bad one.
New Orleans.
There was
dummies.
the Great Hurricane, they called it, in 1780. Killed over 20,000 people. So
They
that
just
was
called
bad.
it the Great Hurricane.
Yeah.
Huh? It wasn't like Daniel.
No, they didn't name them way
This
back
is
then.
Gerald.
Did you know that when they're naming those, if they like do so much damage or they kill so many people, they actually retire that name, so they don't name another one
really?
that anymore. Yeah. So that's the thing. I don't think they'll ever name another one Katrina. You know.
I think Hugo stayed in
Hugo?
history.
Hugo Chavez.
Hugo.
Hugo Chavez.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
So the death toll was 20,000 from the Great Hurricane in 1780. It struck down on the Caribbean on October 1780. The hurricane likely struck down in
So it's
Barbados.
just like a jersey with a hurricane on it and then the name.
Yeah.
I'll retire that one.
Exactly.
That was a big year.
So that was a bad one. In addition to killing thousands of Caribbean residents, British and French warships navigating the coast of the Caribbean were lost in the storm.
Dang.
Yeah. The next one, Hurricane Mitch. It just really doesn't sound very
I
scary.
know.
Mitch.
Hey, that's Hurricane Rick.
Yeah. Hurricane Daniel. In 1998.
Ted. Hurricane Ted.
Hurricane Theodore. The death toll was 19,325 people.
Wow.
The storm struck down on both the Swan Islands and Honduras. The hurricane proceeded to move through Belize, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Nicaragua, causing over 19,000 deaths and an incredible amount of damage. Woo-wee, that's a bad deal. So, in Nicaragua, over 23,900 homes were destroyed.
Nicaragua. Man, that's a...
The 25,000 homes were just, oh my gosh. So anyways, if you live in a hurricane zone, you either need to be like super prepared or just realize that one day you're going to lose a bunch of stuff and you might die. So you just need to know that, right?
Yeah.
So how do you prep for a hurricane? Number one, consider moving from the area that you live in.
Probably.
If you live in North Dakota, it's going to suck, but you won't die from a hurricane ever. Never will you ever die from a hurricane. You might get a tornado or something, though, so that's one thing.
Unless you're from Florida, you can stay put.
Really?
I don't want Floridans over here.
Don't you? I'll take them
Then
over.
again, I'll take them over Californians.
Yeah. So direct
Most
from
California.
ready.gov, they had some really good stuff. To prepare now, sign up for your community's warning system. That is a huge deal. Pretty much every community has one that you can sign up for, and they'll shoot you a text when crap's going down.
That's what I was saying.
Really, really good idea. The Emergency Alert System and National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Weather Radio also provide emergency alerts. Get a good one. Get one that has several ways to power it, like we talked about, right? Practice going to a safe shelter for high winds, such as a FEMA safe room or an ICC 500 storm shelter. So you can get those storm shelters, in your backyard if you want, Cam.
I think just putting a submarine in your backyard is pretty much the safest thing.
I think that's what I'm leaning for right now, actually.
How is anything going to cause damage to that?
I really don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why people don't do that all over the place.
I just want to use submarine. You got any of those out on the back?
So, you have that safe shelter, but you can also just use a small interior windowless room for those situations. Yeah.
Like in Saw?
Exactly.
Okay.
Just a closet of some sort, maybe. I don't know.
Just a really big walk-in closet.
Yeah. Have a family emergency plan. A lot of this is, the same stuff we've been talking about, but they all apply. Based on your location and community plans, make your own plans for evacuating or sheltering in place. So have that evacuation plan, have several routes, and have a plan for sheltering in place if you need to, right?
Right.
Become familiar with your evacuation zone, the route, and the shelter locations. So when you live in these places, there's zones for evacuating. Know those and know the routes. Gather needed supplies for at least 3 days, you guys. 3 days. And you need to think about individual medication needs for everybody. If you have somebody who has diabetes, you need to have that insulin ready. You need to have some extra insulin, right? And ways to, because you have to keep insulin cold, right? So you need to keep that.
That's going to be
you need
a real
to figure that out.
Deal breaker.
Yeah. Again, documents, keep them in a safe place. Keep digital copies somewhere that's password protected. Declutter drains and gutters. That's going to be invaluable when lots of rain and water start going through. Here's the thing about a hurricane. They're always pretty bad. Like, they're never a good thing, but you always, almost always have a ton of warning. Like, you know they're coming.
That's the thing. I'm like,
right.
When I was watching TV, my sister lives in South Carolina, and it was like she showed me some of the stuff that they were broadcasting. People were sitting out on their lawn chairs. I ain't going anywhere.
Exactly.
It's like, well,
if you die, it's your own fault because there's usually days.
Well, what frustrates me about it is think about the emergency response people that are going to put their lives at risk for you.
Exactly.
Because you're going to be an idiot stuck up in a tree, hopefully dead because you're dumb.
Yeah, so you have warning, and listen to the officials. They know what they're talking about. If they say to evacuate, don't be an idiot. Just evacuate. It's not worth it, all right? Yeah. So when the hurricane is 36 hours from arriving, here are a few things you can do. Turn on your TV and radio. Get the latest weather updates and emergency instructions. Restock your preparedness kit. Food, water, medications, flashlight batteries, cash, first aid supplies, and have a bug-out bag ready to go. Plan your communication stuff with your family members. Text, email, all of those things. Use all those different kind of ways, like ham radio, go tennis, CB. I don't know. Yell really loud. Do whatever you got to do.
You want.
Yeah. Review your evacuation zone again. Keep your car in good working condition. This is something you have to do because if it's not working and you have to evacuate, you're SOL. I don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So say the hurricane's about 18 hours away. Some things you can do. Bookmark your city or county website so you can have quick access to storm updates and emergency instructions. That's a really good idea, actually. Bring loose, lightweight objects inside that could become projectiles, like patio furniture, garbage cans, the weather vanes. I don't know what they are, but don't let them come through your window. It's a bad deal. Cover your home's windows at this point. Storm shutters are good, but just have a bunch of plywood ready to go if you need to cover up those windows.
Zombie help too.
Yeah.
Protect you.
When it's about 6 to 18 hours away, make sure your cell phone is charged up, fully charged, so that way you know you're good for the next 24 hours or whatever it may be. if you're not in an area that is recommended for evacuation and you plan to stay home, let your family know where you're at that point. Close your storm shutters. Turn your refrigerator or freezer to the coldest setting. Because if power goes out, you want that to stay as cold as possible.
Right.
Don't open it unless you need to. Now,
take the otter pops out.
Yeah, exactly. Now, survive during a hurricane. If told to evacuate, do so immediately. Don't drive around barricades. Barricades are there for a reason. If sheltering during high winds, go to a FEMA safe room like we talked about.
I always put these barricades out.
An idiot.
Going around it. Takes me forever to get closer to the hurricane.
If you're trapped in a building by flooding, go to the highest level. We talked about this again. Don't climb into a closed attic. Because if the water comes up, I don't know what you're going to do. You're stuck. You're in the attic. Listen to the emergency information.
Have you ever seen Christmas Vacation?
Exactly. Use a generator or other gasoline-powered machinery outdoors only. Okay? You could die.
I wonder how many people do die from like
a lot.
Those things.
A lot,
Carbon
man.
monoxide and dummies.
Don't drown. Know how to swim because you might have to. All right? Stay off bridges or fast-moving water. After a hurricane, listen to authorities for information and special instructions. Be careful during cleanup. Wear protective clothing and work with someone else. Don't go out there by yourself trying to clean stuff up. Electrical equipment that gets wet could be a bad deal. Be very careful. Don't wade in flood water unless you have to because you don't know what kind of scary snakes or piranhas are under there.
Or poop.
Their poop are under there. Only use phone calls.
You know whose poop's floating. You know what it is.
For emergencies, use a text if you have to. And document any property damage with photographs. So I know that's very quick, but we have a lot to get to still. And
we do.
When we're pushing it. So that is hurricanes.
Hurricanes.
Okay? Yeah.
All right, yeah. So another wind scary thingy. Tornadoes.
Ooh.
Kind of like hurricanes, but
not.
So, definition of a tornado. Looks like a funnel. I saw that on. I was like,
I know.
All right. Okay.
Tornado looks like a funnel.
Yeah. So they can destroy buildings, flip cars, create deadly flying debris, violently rotating columns of air that extend from a thunderstorm to the ground. Scary.
They're super scary, but they're awesome looking, dude.
They are awesome looking.
They're so awesome looking.
That's one. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating to look at them in a picture and never, ever be part of one.
You ever seen the movie Twister?
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep.
That was real footage.
It was.
Documentary.
How a Dodge Ram could not get sucked up, but a gas truck full of gas can get sucked up and thrown in the ground.
It's thermodynamics.
It doesn't make any sense.
There's a whole bunch of different scientific explanations.
Crazy. Yeah. Helen Hunt, she is amazing.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyways, just some quick things on tornadoes. The #1 ranked of all time tornado. The tri-state Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana.
It went into 3 states.
Yeah, 1925, 695 deaths, which is quite a bit higher than any other tornado. So this sucker was bad. You want to talk about bad? This one was bad.
Yeah.
It was also the longest
lasting.
Yeah, I think it went. It was like some 100
19 weeks or something like that.
I think it went from 2011 to 2015. It's still going right now. It's just a little bit less dirty. But yeah, so that one was a crazy one. I was not born, so I don't know what it was like.
I don't remember.
I'm guessing this is where Wizard of Oz came from, was thinking about the tri-state.
Yeah.
The deadliest tornado was in Bangladesh.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. It took at least 1,300 lives. And then in that tri-state one for U.S. history. There's also, the thing that's crazy, I didn't know about this is, let me get there. The continuous outbreak of tornadoes. There's like I guess tornadoes can just like spawn in like this time period, like tons of them.
What?
And it was, gosh dang it. Where I got my notes all messed up there. Anyway.
Okay, sounds interesting.
Yeah, so it was like a ton spawned in just this short time period. It was like 300 and something tornadoes all that occurred within like a 48-hour period.
Whoa, where was this at? Midwest?
It was in
somewhere?
the Midwest, yeah. But I was like, holy crap, that's insane. Anyway, so tornadoes, the fastest one ever recorded was 302 miles per hour, plus or minus 20 miles per hour, give or take.
Plus or minus.
But man, that one was in Oklahoma City area, and it measured, 302 plus or minus, and it was an F5. Scary. F me.
F.
Anyways, and now y'all know from Twister, there's F1, F2, F3, F4, F-150.
F-150. I like that.
Those are scary.
Those
are real nice, though.
You're getting F-150. You better be careful.
So, tornadoes, those are that's another one of those things. It's like if you live in Tornado Alley, then you're dumb.
Yeah, and if you live in a mobile home,
you
in
should
a tornado
definitely
alley,
have an underground bunker if you live in Tornado Alley.
I figured I'd live in this little mobile home, weighs about 1,000 pounds. I live in Tornado Alley. I'm not worried about
Nothing but just 10 and me between the wind.
Yeah, that's us. We're going to ride this out together.
I can hear him from about 100 miles away through this tin. That's putting my ear up to it at night. Anyway, so if you're under tornado warning, first things first, find sturdy building and do it immediately.
Find sturdy building. Do immediately.
Go to a safe room, a basement. Hopefully, in those areas that tornadoes occur, you have a storm cellar. If you're in a building with no basement, then get to a small interior room. Mm-hmm. We talked about that.
Closet.
These walk-in closets should be probably the most sturdy thing you build in your house.
Yep.
Stay away from windows, doors, dummy.
Idiots.
Remember Twister got sucked out when he was holding on to the door? Don't do that. Don't do that. If you would have tucked themselves back in, they'd been fine.
But it turned her into a tornado hunter.
Yeah.
So it was all good.
Did you ever see that NASA commercial? There's like a tornado going, the girl's like staring at it. No. And the dad like runs and like picks her up.
I don't watch commercials.
When I was like,
no.
What, is it saying a bunch of idiots just go work at NASA? There's a tornado coming, almost there.
I haven't seen that, no.
Anyways, you should look at it. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Know your area's tornado risk. Here in Utah, we actually had some tornadoes that burst out some windows in the was the Delta Center at the time, where the Jazz played. I remember, which was super crazy. And then we had like a little water funnel thing out in Strawberry. That's not too far from us. So, watch out. They can happen at any time. So use that community warning system because you can have advanced warning on most tornadoes. I don't know what the time frame is there. I was looking to see.
I don't know. Well, luckily those
it depends on if they get Dorothy up.
Yeah, Helen Hunt was really key in this.
Yeah, it depends a lot on how many Dodge Rams and those are sacrificed to suck those balls up in
flying
there.
bobber balls in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Consider constructing your own safe room that meets the FEMA or ICC 500 standards.
Yep,
I would love to do that.
I would too, man.
You can buy those pods and stuff that are pre-built too that'll withstand. tornadoes.
Christmas is coming up. That's what I want.
Yeah, me too,
Cameron.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So surviving during there's some things myths that you shouldn't do. Number one, which is one that I always thought, is you could drive under an overpass and protect yourself. That is not. The wind speeds are actually increased underneath there, and there's really bad turbulence. It's a bad idea. Hollywood, you're stupid. So don't do that. You actually are told to stay in your car. Yeah, they could be lifted and shot as a missile, but that rarely ever happens.
Rare. It's rare.
If you get sucked up like that, you're dead anyway.
Yeah.
Don't try and outrun a tornado.
Really?
No matter how fast your car is. I think everybody would do that, though.
I would totally try and outrun it.
That's what they say. Because I don't know. Anyway, if you're not at home, find whatever shelter's best. Like us here, we would come to the podcast bunker.
Yeah, we definitely would.
It's totally a bunker.
Yeah.
And if you're at the movies, take shelter between the seats, crouched into a ball.
Oh.
Never thought about being
Every
in the
time
movie
I go
theater.
to the movies, that's what I'm thinking about. What if
you're watching The Shining?
Ooh.
Expect a tornado any moment.
Expect one. Yeah.
So, after the tornadoes pass, so I think it's pretty basic on protecting yourself from tornadoes. Get indoors, get in somewhere that's sturdy, stay away from windows, avoid, electrical down power lines, stuff like that. Anyway, so afterwards, keep listening to your nice NOAA radio, weather radio, because they're going to let you know if there's any new tornadoes coming or if they're, what the path is, if it's adjusted and start turning and maybe come back on you. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
But you need to keep up on that. So, and stay queer. Stay queer,
buddy.
If you're queer, don't worry about tornado. You can stay queer.
You don't. It's
Stay
not going to
clear
help
of the
to go.
fallen
Don't
utility lines and broken gas lines. So explosions and fire are a huge risk after a tornado. Oh man, when you try and rush through these notes, these words just.
What website was that on?
California website.
Stay queer. Don't go straight. Not worth it.
First things first. Don't leave the queerness.
Don't leave.
Save your phone calls for emergencies, like Kobe's talked about. The system can get really clogged up.
Tornado seems like an emergency to me, though.
Yeah,
Right?
But, well, I mean, use texting and everything.
What are
yeah.
you doing? It's not an emergency.
But I mean, if the tornadoes pass, this is after. Remember, I said after. Okay.
I know.
And then things to consider with tornadoes. Just an overall. So make sure you got a good radio that has different ways to charge. Your food storage is at risk of fire, floods, and explosions from broken gas lines. So that you can't really protect against.
No, you can't.
But floods are a pretty common thing because you get broken water lines and everything like that. So, again, keep your food safe off the ground, covered. If you can get a generator, that would be really nice. Get some power up and going. Hard hats. Have some hard hats because you never know. Stuff's going to fall. Just sleep with the hard hat on.
Just sleep with the hard every night.
Every freaking night.
Every night.
A whistle or something to make loud noise because you might get buried.
I've got my kids.
Yeah,
they
make
so much
They'll
loud
be screaming
noise.
so much, you'll know exactly where they are.
Not worried about it.
But it's good to have some, if you have a little kit near your bed or something that has like a whistle in it or something that, almost like an avalanche detection.
Sex whistle. Keep it next to your bed. This is my sex whistle. It's a safe whistle.
I think that the werewolf whistle will work, but I can't remember.
I can't remember. Can you hear this, honey?
You need an extensive first aid kit because you might be dealing with a lot more, bumps and bruises, big gouges, cuts from glass, all kinds of nasty stuff. So,
sex whistle. So stupid.
Come here. Don't seek shelter under overpass like we talked about, and then take a bunch of pictures after the damage because insurance companies will try and sneak their way out of paying.
They
anything.
will.
Every freaking time.
Pricks.
Every freaking time.
Yeah. Well,
anyways, that was super fast, and
tornadoes.
I'm sorry.
You're good. No, I think it was good.
There's a couple things I didn't mention about floods is duct tape. You can make waterproof shoes all the way up to your freaking thighs if you want.
Duct tape your whole
tape
lower half.
is super important.
Yeah.
I didn't mention that, and I wanted to.
Good. I'm glad you did because you should always have duct tape in your kits. You really should.
Keep moving on. But first, I want to talk about survival boxes.
Yeah,
We're actually going to review one.
Yeah, we are.
The only subscription box packed with all the essential survival supplies that you need to prep for surviving disasters, aka hurricane, tornado, emergencies, or your next outdoor adventure. There are many different boxes to choose from, so you can order the survival food, water, and gear required for your survival plan. Sign up today to get survival boxes delivered to your doorstep every month. Is there a contract, Kobe?
No.
Can you cancel anytime?
Yes.
How do you get it cheaper than anybody else would?
Use our code Casual Preppers.
10% off. Go to survivalbox.com and get your stuff getting. Okay, actually, let's talk about survival boxes. Which ones did we get? Alpha and Bravo. All right, the Bravo box, number 1.
So we got
Backpacker's Pantry times 2.
Yeah, so
Mountain House Storage times 2.
Backpacker's Pantry.
What kind of goodies?
We got Jamaica style jerk rice and chickens, beans, whatnot. Hot apple cobbler, straight off the grill.
Ooh, yeah.
Then we got Wise Food Company tomato basil soup. Beautiful.
Yum.
Wise Food Company strawberry granola crunch.
Ooh, yeah.
Breakfast champions. Then we got some Mountain House beef stroganoff with noodles.
Nice.
That'll fill you up after a hurricane.
The thing that's kind of nice about these that I was thinking about is that a lot of those survival or a lot of those like big bins that you get that are
Yeah.
full. They don't have like some of the little treats.
Exactly.
Like some of the apple cobbler and all
Yeah.
that. So I like that.
I
that
do
it
too.
comes with a lot of these things that you typically don't
We
grab.
got a noodles and chicken from Mountain House.
Oh, yeah.
Then we got another one of the food bars, 5-year shelf life,
These are
3,600
awesome.
calories.
These are awesome for vehicles.
And then we got a red cord
Red Dawn.
carrot.
Oh, and carrot.
Yeah.
Carrot.
Then,
Heirloom seed. You get that in every box.
then we got the gear only.
All right, gear only. XL?
Nope. Just
Okay, gear only. So we got the SOG Gambit knife.
Booyah. Right there. That's the SOG.
That's
Always
actually
good.
a lot better shape than most of them.
Yeah, it is actually,
That's
yeah.
actually more useful.
Very cool knife from SOG. I love SOG. Always.
Do you want me to make more room right here for you?
Just go.
Okay, and then we got the Elite First Aid Kit.
Boom.
Oh, nice.
Nice little first aid
That's
kit.
a big one.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right, and then we've got the Tactical First Aid Bag.
Right chair. Nice little
Oh,
kit
that's
bag.
a cute little bag.
I like it. Mhm.
That is sweet.
Yeah.
I want that little Red Cross thing on the front. Ruko Kubaton.
Kubaton.
Sorry, what am I reading here?
Kubaton. I got
Kubaton.
the Kubaton
Keychain.
for your kitchen.
Oh, that one's nice.
Yeah.
Flat black.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So freaking A survival boxes. You did us good.
That was
You
it,
did
right?
us good.
Survival knowledge card. I put that thing all together, too. I should flip through some pages
I know.
on a little story for you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, you should.
Because
So
there's some awesome details. Like, I love that
Yeah.
the cards. I have a
yeah,
whole
they're
book.
fantastic.
Anyway.
Okay, now we have a tack pack as well.
So yeah, survival boxes, man, it's the easiest way to just start your food supply, like, preparedness.
Yeah, you're stupid not to do it,
You
honestly.
really are. The JE Machine Armor's Wrench, $30
Check
value.
this bad boy out.
Oh,
Look at that
dang,
thing. It's a
man.
beefy. It's awesome for a vehicle. It's awesome for preps. It's
It's
awesome
a zombie lobotomizer.
Yeah, dude. It's pretty sweet. Nice
It's a
little
tooth extractor.
And it's like it's heavy duty, dude.
It's
Like,
not that heavy either.
No,
Like,
but it's heavy duty.
no. Nice. I like that. All right, another thing, Hex Mag AR-15 mag, $15.
Right there.
Ooh.
You can't have enough of these.
Seriously, you can't. You can't. And then a Black Rifle Company mug, $20.
I didn't get one of those.
Where's the mug?
I don't know.
I was actually excited about that mug.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, GunTech anti-rotation pins.
Right there,
Boom.
son.
If you're a gun guru, I'm telling you,
And also, oh, look how beautiful that is. Tack pack.
that is a good looking
sticker.
That's it.
That's it.
So that's the value of this box exceeded, I don't know, 30, 15 plus 20 plus 30. It's like
Should
60,
say on it,
70,
no?
$95 value.
Oh yeah. So it's a freaking ton. Oh my gosh, you
They're
guys.
not making any money, by the way.
They're not.
I think that I don't know how they're doing it.
I don't know. Survival
be a
boxes,
charity.
Tack pack. No idea what they're doing, but I'm liking
Somebody's backing them that has money because they're giving it all to you.
it. Exactly.
It's time for the quick and dirty medical tip.
All right. So real quick, fevers. Everybody panics about fevers. You know, I see it all the time. I got a fever. I must have something bad. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything. Well, it does, but it's not. It's usually not as big of a deal as most people put it out to be. It's like typically, and this is, you know, as far as we know, fever from an infection that stays below 105 doesn't damage any body tissue, as far as we know. So 105 is super high. That's a bad thing. But people that come in a lot, you know, they're around 100, 101, and they're usually like,
Freaking
I
out.
usually run at 97.8. So this is way high.
Yeah.
But it has a lot to do, you know, where's that fever coming from? You know, how does the person look? What are they, you know, if they can't breathe, obviously you got to think pneumonia. If they have a really bad stomach ache, it's typical that your body's just going to mount, you know, the immune system's going to just take over and your body's going to raise body temperature and kill off what it can. It's normal. Don't worry about it. But you got to just kind of monitor the patient and how they look. So just ways to bring the fever down. And there's good things about bringing the fever down. It's not necessarily harmful to like, I'm just going to let it burn itself out.
Yeah.
You want to bring that down because most of the time you'll feel better and you'll be drinking more fluids and eating a little more when the fever's lower. So
Yeah.
you're benefiting yourself. You're benefiting yourself in more ways than just, you know,
Letting it burn itself out.
You're more comfortable. You're gonna, you know, get up, breathe more, and it's actually not bad. So ways to bring it down, obviously, your NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, ibuprofen. Have different ones, have ibuprofen and naproxen and
acetaminophen.
Just different forms of those NSAIDs you can get over the counter, because some people's bodies respond different, genetically. Yeah. And that's still ibuprofen to me and my kids. It's the best to bring fevers down. Tylenol is barely even useful, but it's good to have both, because you do want in between. That you can still, maybe that fever comes back sooner, but you really don't want to overdose. And that's the big thing you got to be careful with, is keeping that fever down. You still got to follow directions of the medication. If it didn't help and, or wore off in 4 hours, it's probably too soon still. It's more harmful to take it too soon. So for Advil and any of those ibuprofen, it's 6 hours between. Tylenol is only 4, so you can actually start a dose sooner with Tylenol. That's why it's good to alternate the two. Lukewarm bath water. Don't jump in cold water or anything like that. Just something a little cooler than body temperature, but not shocking, is a good way to bring it down and make them comfortable. Things to not do, obviously, don't take more ibuprofen or Tylenol if it's not coming down. It's destroying way more. And then, I've never heard of doing this, an alcohol bath. Because you know how it causes, it's such a cool, that's actually super dangerous. So don't do that. But fevers are typically a good thing, and they're normal, and they can, stay for 5 days low grade as long as they're reducing with Tylenol and ibuprofen. That's good. And don't panic about it. Obviously, if the person is looking super ill, pale, barely conscious, that's they need to be addressed. But most fevers are fine, and it's okay to bring them down a little bit to make the person more comfortable, especially kids, so that you can get more fluids and food in them. So, anyway, hopefully that's helpful.
That's really helpful.
All right.
Thank you, Cameron. Thank you guys for listening.
That sums it up.
We appreciate you guys. Please, if you haven't yet subscribed to the podcast, please subscribe to YouTube. We want to keep doing what we're doing, and we want to be able to do more of what we're doing. We really do. We want to be able to do more. So the more we can get for people to subscribe, the more podcasts we can do, the more stuff beyond the podcast we can do. So we want to do that for you guys. So please tell your friends about us. Make sure you're subscribed and you're following us on Instagram. That's where we have a lot of fun, is over on Instagram.
We do, and we're trying to push out more content there each day, and give us ideas of stuff. Like, you want to hear about something? We'd love to do it for you.
Absolutely.
Maybe not, but maybe we will.
We'll put it on the list for sure.
Yeah. So tell us what you want to hear. Tell us what, as long as you're passing around at church services. Yeah. Get up there and tell people, maybe you found the Lord and also the Casual Preppers podcast.
Or
I don't know.
Go put up a sign at the local grocery store to say, listen to Casual Preppers. Yeah. That's a good thing you could do. Yeah.
We screw around a lot, but we honestly feel like we do get information that is not out in the communities as much as it should be. So.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.